The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zethkar's 6 eyes focused on the holographic display. The numbers were undeniable, yet impossible to accept. In less than 50 rotations, humanity had accomplished what the combined forces of 7 star systems couldn't achieve in a millennium. They eradicated the Vexthul completely, Zethkar announced, his mandibles clicking nervously. Every last parasitic colony across 47 worlds. Gone. Council member Lyrian's crystalline form pulsed with disbelief. The humans were hired as mercenaries, not exterminators. The contract specified containment, not this. The hologram shifted, showing before and after images of Kepler 442b. Where once writhing masses of the galaxy's most feared bioweapon had consumed entire continents, now only scorched Earth remained. No trace of the Vexthul parasite that had threatened to devour all organic life in the sector. How? Whispered Elder Morvac, his ancient voice barely audible through his breathing apparatus. We fought the Vexthul for 3,000 years. They adapt to everything: plasma, quantum dissolution, even temporal displacement weapons. Admiral Sarah Chen's image materialized in the center of the chamber as Earth's response came through. Her expression was matter-of-fact, almost bored. You asked us to deal with your parasite problem. We dealt with it. But the method, Zethkar began. You didn't specify method in the contract, Chen interrupted. You specified results. The Vexthul are extinct. Contract fulfilled. The council members exchanged glances. They had indeed been desperate enough to hire the newcomers, these strange bipedal mammals who had only achieved faster-than-light travel 2 decades ago. The humans had seemed primitive, almost laughably so, with their chemical rockets and kinetic weapons. Admiral, Lyrian's harmonious voice carried a tremor. Our biologists have analyzed the residue. You didn't just kill the Vexthul. You used their own reproductive mechanism against them, turned their hive mind into a self-destructing virus. The implications, Chen said coolly, are that your problem is solved. Unless you're having second thoughts about our payment. Elder Morvac leaned forward. Young species, do you understand what you've done? The Vexthul were ancient, possibly predating our civilizations. They were a force of nature, like gravity or entropy, and you made them extinct in 50 days. 53 days, Chen corrected. Would have been faster, but we had to study their biology first. Interesting reproductive cycle, really. Once we figured out how to hack their pheromone, communication, and convince them that reproduction was actually a threat response to their own species. She shrugged. Evolution did the rest. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien languages. Council members argued in their native tongues, but the universal translators made their fear clear. The humans hadn't just defeated an ancient enemy. They had turned the enemy's greatest strength into its ultimate weakness. Silence. Morvac's command echoed through the chamber. Admiral Chen, surely you realize that such tactics, such creativity in warfare, makes you incredibly dangerous allies. Chen's smile was thin. Is that a problem? The Vexthul have consumed entire star systems, Zethkar said slowly. They've ended civilizations that were old when our sons were young, and you defeated them like they were an inconvenience. Because they were, Chen replied. Look, we've been dealing with parasites for millennia. Malaria, smallpox, HIV, the Zeta Reticuli plague of 2387. We know how to make things go extinct. The Vexthul were just bigger. Council member Thexara, who had remained silent until now, finally spoke. What other threats do you consider inconveniences, Admiral? The question hung in the air like a poisonous gas. Chen's expression didn't change, but something shifted in her eyes, a calculation, a weighing of possibilities. Depends, she said finally. What other problems do you have? The Council had hired humanity as mercenaries because they were expendable newcomers, desperate for galactic recognition and resources. But as the full scope of human capabilities became clear, a terrifying realization dawned. They hadn't hired mercenaries. They had hired apex predators. Admiral, Morvac said carefully, what would happen if someone hired you to deal with us? Chen's laugh was genuinely amused. Elder, you're our clients. We honor our contracts. She paused and her expression grew serious. Besides, you haven't done anything to threaten Earth or human interests. The Vexthul had. That's the difference. But if we did, Lyrian pressed, then you'd become an inconvenience, Chen said simply. The transmission ended, leaving the council in stunned silence. They had solved their greatest crisis, but in doing so, they had introduced something far more terrifying into the galaxy. A species that viewed extinction-level threats as mere problems, to be solved. Zethkar finally broke the silence. We wanted them to be our sword against the darkness, but what do you call the species that makes the darkness afraid? Elder Morvac's ancient eyes closed. You call them exactly what the universe needed them to be. He paused, choosing his words carefully. And you pray they never see you as an inconvenience. In the depths of space, Admiral Chen reviewed the next contract proposal. The Christek Union needed help with a minor rebellion on their outer colonies. She smiled as she marked it for approval. After all, humans were very good at solving problems, and the galaxy was full of problems that needed solving.